And we're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny fucking Kaye. And when Santa squeezes his fat white ass down that chimney tonight, he's gonna find the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the nut house.
Don't wait till the night before Christmas to be good.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 102, 101 or 102 of the Prehistoric podcast, part 5 in the 12 podcasts of Christmas, number 5. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Francois Nation.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl.
I'm curious what Disney's going to say when I let everyone know that today's podcast is brought to you by the Disney Corporation. They totally condone everything we're doing here today, and if they want to seek legal action, you have all the information necessary to... I've never said my name, so you don't have me nailed.
That's fair.
They did go after like a small daycare in Florida that had their images on them.
We'll be tagging you in the post.
At Disney. Thanks for sponsoring this podcast.
They will come,
at Disney.
They will come down. They will strike us right down with great vengeance and furious
anger.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when you just keep saying someone sponsored you when they didn't?
I mean, they could probably send you a cease and desist.
But it's if you're not making any money,
You're not supposed to use their.
But what are you doing though? It's not like you're really defaming. I mean, in our case, I guess there could be an argument made for defamation. But I mean, like, if you were just some guy who was like giving ice cream to senior citizens, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm sponsored by Monster Energy," and Monster Energy didn't sponsor you, and you're like, "Yeah, Monster Energy sponsored me, and I give ice cream to senior citizens." It's like, is Monster Energy going to be like, "Please stop"? Like,
it would be their right to.
But it's like, on what grounds? Like, don't use our name. But it's like, I'm not making any money off your name. Like, nothing. I'm not defaming you.
That's just like, what? Are you never allowed to utter the name of another company?
Well, that's the thing. But I'm saying specifically saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I mean, you're telling people a thing that's not true. Also,
I guess, but the whole thing with defamation is if it's making someone think badly of you.
But I don't think you have to be defaming. I think it can also just be.
Well, it would be liable because it's not true, right? It wouldn't be defamation.
But it's like, once again, every case I can think of libel and slander and all that stuff, it's always because someone is using someone else's name in a negative light. Never has anyone used a name of another, or probably it's happened, but I've never heard of any cases of it, of somebody using it in a positive. I guess that Mickey Mouse daycare thing is.
Well,
once again, yeah, that's copyright infringement because they're using the characters. So
they're using copyrighted characters.
It's different. So I guess if you were to put the Monster logo, then it's like
on the ice cream with the
seniors? Then it's like, no, you can't do that because that's our logo. But if you're just saying we're sponsored by Monster Energy, I don't know. That'd be an interesting. I'd like to see that.
I can tell you on this episode of the podcast, I'm getting real sick of smoking this pipe.
I was going to say I was going to make a comment about how we weren't smoking on this podcast, but we're smoking them, I guess. So. Like, I don't want to.
No, I have no interest in doing that. Fuck it, I've got another fucking... No. I'm going to figure out how to light this after 12 episodes. So... Andrew and I have just recently finished watching second season of Making a Murder. So I want to talk about our favorite serial killers, why we love them so much.
Favorite serial killers? Okay, well, I guess I'll start.
Please do.
So recently I watched a series on Netflix that I highly recommend to people who like true crime drama and that kind of crap. It's called Manhunt Unabomber. It stars Sam Worthington from the film Avatar, and Paul Bettany from the film A Knight's Tale. And if you don't know anything about the Unabomber, it's like fascinating. He might be the most fascinating serial killer since like Vlad the Impaler. Like the way he went about his murders and his justification for those murders was so beyond the realm of most people who kill, like in terms of what, like how much thought was put into what he was doing. It was really incredible. And the uniqueness of what he was doing, all like the uniqueness of how he committed those murders was fascinating. So I would say currently, just because that's kind of the hot thing in my life, I would say the Unabomber is probably my favorite serial killer, at least in recent history.
No,
Is he
you've
a
had
serial
talk.
killer or a terrorist?
Well, they can be both, can't they?
Certainly, they're not mutually exclusive.
Well, I suppose what's the definition of a serial killer? What's the definition? Because I guess that's a weird category because he was kind of both because of his media presence as well as how he did kill people in a specific way.
Yeah, and it wasn't just
Repeatedly.
it wasn't just one time. Like most terrorist attacks by terrorists happen once, and then it's like that's the event that they're remembered for, is that one terrorist bombing. Whereas this guy committed several bombings over years, so like he was a serial bomber. So yeah, I would consider him a serial killer. Close second, Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac Killer is my personal favorite.
That's fascinating as well.
Just because it's the fact that he evaded capture and was tried so hard to be captured.
Was he almost never caught?
He was never caught.
He was never caught.
Yeah.
The movie is also incredible. Is it like
Yes.
with fucking Jake Gyllenhaal and
What was the Zodiac killer's reasoning?
He didn't really have reasoning. His
creating
thing was
terror,
it was
mayhem, getting
I'm a
notoriety.
genius.
Well,
I'm
he
try-
was a genius code maker. He made a code that was very difficult to crack in the paper. Basically, the one guy allegedly cracked it, but
It was a David Fincher movie. Also, that's another thing. I'm realizing year after year that I'm a massive David Fincher fan, and I always forget about it. Like I think
there's a few like we were talking about Mike Judge as well. It's like David Fincher's one of those directors that he doesn't have like that fucking sauce that he puts all over the movie. That's like, this is a fucking David Fincher film.
see. I would say he does, because it's like you look at movies like Gone Girl and Zodiac and stuff like that, and it's like he films things very similar. Like I always know, or like Social Network. It's like I always know when I'm watching one, but it's like I don't know why, but in the moment, I always enjoy the movies. I always really, really enjoy the movies, but I think it's the same thing. Like I had the same realization about Ridley Scott a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Was that he was somebody that I enjoyed all his movies, but I just never gave him the due that he deserved. And then one day I'm like, man, I fucking love Ridley Scott movies, and I can watch these all the time. Like I love everything about them. And now David Fincher's the next one where I'm like, I love these movies. Like they're so good.
I always say Gone Girl is one of the most genuinely terrifying movies that's ever.
Yeah.
My favorite killer. I don't know how many kills he was proven to have even. But Manson.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I just pretty cliche for me to say that. Oh, everybody loves Manson. You know, like, oh, who's your favorite killer?
Manson.
Yeah, Manson.
Manson.
Who's your
Everybody
favorite?
was his
Yeah,
Manson.
like everyone collected the serial killer cards when they were kids, and
Yeah, they were.
Manson
Manson's
was always
everyone's
the one.
favorite.
He's
yeah.
the Charizard.
Manson,
You
he
know?
was the Charizard. Yeah.
Everyone loves Manson. Why? Oh, because he's sick. No, that's not why. There's an amazing set of interviews with Manson where he had a book. His book was written, authored by a man who spent time in prison with him. in which one line that always stuck with me. If you'll just give me a moment. Now I've got it too fucking packed again.
Oh, you got it stuck now. You burn your fingers.
Probably.
I don't think you want it falling out of the top.
Anyway.
Certainly not.
Now with Manson, I don't know how to fucking smoke these things.
Here.
Manson, the interview goes as such. Yeah. What I enjoy is he tells the reporter lady that's in the room. So this guy wrote a book with him. The interview is with him, the author, and obviously the interviewer. And he says, I'll kill 1,000 more. And then he says, I'd take this phone book, and I'd beat you to death with it, and I wouldn't feel a thing.
I'd take this phone book and I'd beat you to death with it, and I wouldn't feel a thing. I wouldn't feel a thing.
And then when he starts incoherently babbling, like, wagga, 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 wagga. The guy was fucking insane.
Well, he didn't really kill many people himself. He got other people to kill for him. Did he kill anyone himself? I'm sure he's killed someone.
Oh, yeah, he went to jail for killing someone.
He went to jail for inciting murder.
No, I think he stayed in jail for inciting. Well, I don't know. I don't know a ton about the guy. He's fucking insane and he's awesome.
So you like him just because he's so nuts?
Yeah, like, all the other serial killers are so fucking vanilla. It's like, I dressed up with a clown and ate the kids. It's like, well, then say something cool.
Well, he didn't eat them. He had sex with them.
Who dressed up as a clown and ate kids? Had sex with kids?
With teenagers was John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, Gacy.
Oh.
Well, what did Ted Bundy ate them?
No, Jeffrey Dahmer.
And Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer is a good one too.
The big four
he was fucked.
The big four are Bundy, Gacy,
Dahmer,
and fucking Manson. That's kind of like the elite list of the.
Well, there's like the Green River, like the Bow River Killer or whatever. I don't know what his name is, but he killed a lot of people too.
But I mean, like
prostitutes.
We haven't had a good serial killer in a long time.
We have that Canadian.
The whatever his name is, the guy from Toronto who killed all the gay people.
Oh, when was that?
Like this last year, 17. They caught him.
Yeah, they caught him. His murder spanned back decades.
He was working in landscaping. He used to like bring bags full of people and put them line the bottom of people's planters to hide his stuff.
Yeah.
And like dig up the garden and put the body parts in the garden and then garden over top. And he like had a landscaping business for years. And everyone's like, he's such a good landscaper. But he was filling all of your pots and shit full of people's slims and stuff.
And somebody just found the limb
chewed up meat. Yeah.
Yeah, connected to a missing persons case, and there was just a hit, and then there was like a bunch of these young men who had gone missing. He's
gay guys.
So he just didn't. He was a homophobe and.
No. I think he's gay too.
No, he was gay. He would take them and
have sex with them,
and
then
he would have sex with them, kill them, and have sex with them.
Oh, he had sex with them while they were dead.
I think maybe, yeah.
Most do, I think.
I guess at that point, like, why not? Like, if you're already killing.
Okay, Gacy was the clown killer. What did Ted Bundy do?
He was like the murdered women.
Which one had the fucking lime bathtub?
Dahmer.
Was it Dahmer? Jeffrey Dahmer? And Jeffrey Dahmer ate.
Yeah, his whole thing was he was trying to, he did like weird experiments, like injecting their brains with like acid to like try to like keep them in this weird state, like to make like zombie sex slaves that he could fuck and whatever.
They wouldn't resist.
Yeah.
They have to pay them.
Yeah, he would check into a hotel with somebody, and he'd bring a big empty suitcase, come back with a male prostitute, fuck him probably, then knock him out, drill his head open to try to, like, what do they call that? Fucking, when they fucking... Lobotomize. He tried, like, lobotomize him to make his zombie sex slaves. And then they would live for a couple hours, and then they would die because he didn't know what he was doing. Then he would cut the bodies into pieces and then put them in his bag and then drag this big heavy bag out. Nobody's like, see you, Jeff. See you later.
Don't forget your Wyndham Rewards card.
Where's that other fella you went up with? Oh, he went out the back.
The other door.
The other door.
There's that really creepy interview with, it's like Jeffrey Dahmer, his dad. It's like in the peak of when he was killing and eating people. And his dad's like the camera's like, oh, Jeff, you're looking good. What are you eating these days? He's like, lots of McDonald's.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
They made a show about Jeffrey Dahmer. I think is it on Netflix? I think it might be on Netflix as well. But it's like it's about, or no, it was a movie. Sorry, it's not on Netflix. They made a movie about Jeffrey Dahmer and about just before he killed his first victim, and I think it spans like preteen to like right when he went to, because I think he was in university or college or whatever, that age around when he started killing people, and so it spans right up until he drives.
He didn't kill anyone until he left home because there was an incident where there was a jogger that he came upon.
Yeah.
And he knocked him out and then just like laid beside him and like huddled and cuddled with this jogger in the woods. And right before he was about to kill him, the jogger like started to wake up and he got scared and left.
Yeah.
And that was the first like attempted kill that he had, but he didn't actually kill him.
Apparently killed it. Like he was one of those that like killed animals and like
Oh yeah,
did that shit to them. But yeah, I remember I watched some. I didn't watch the whole movie, but I remember it being very interesting because it was just one of those movies that shows like these are the signs of a fucking psychopath. Pay attention to what your kids are doing.
that's what I love about fucking Mindhunter is like that
That was
show.
a really good show. That was another David Fincher thing.
That's David Fincher.
Yes.
I love David Fincher.
I was
Wow.
too fucked up encounters from like killing and eating people.
In your childhood, you mean?
Oh yeah, like I was too offhanded comments in a fucking movie theater lineup from eating and killing.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Like when? How many years ago do you think? When
Like
when was the closest you came to the straw breaking the camel's back?
Like probably 6. No,
6 years old?
5 or 6. Yeah.
Oh well, you just wouldn't have had the mental
No. But I
capacity.
mean that would have led to it.
Oh, I
Like,
see.
like, that would've been-
one more traumatic thing, and then it would have been.
It was like
you currently be eating people.
Yeah, and then I was like, nothing that happened.
See, you're lucky because you were like probably one comment away from like just being like a addict criminal in general.
Yeah.
But you skipped that too. You're one below that.
Yeah.
You're just because like right now you cope with your problems with alcohol and gambling,
Pills and
Pills. And...
but like not in a way that so far you don't do it so far that it like impacts your life or
Yes.
Yeah, it leads to the criminal.
leads to other negative impacts. So there's like that level that you skipped, and then if you went even further than that, it would be you cope with your problems by.
Oh, like I would have been like playing with cats' nipples, like big time, like doing a lot of nipple play with animals.
Like, my God. David Fincher, 7, Fight Club, Girl with Dragon Tattoo, Gone Girl, I don't know what the game is, Zodiac, Social Network. I didn't really like Curious Case of Benjamin Button, but like it's a good movie.
I liked Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It's just not very rewatchable.
Uh,
Once you watch it, you don't want to sit through it again.
like God the Guy. It's like exclusively.
I knew it was Fight Club. And that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. So yeah, whenever I think about him, I always think of Alien 3 for some reason, which is like, it's not a bad movie, but it's just like,
Not on that top.
it's not like Alien and Aliens, which are so
keep
good.
forgetting to figure out when we started these.
We'll say 15 minutes ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So what? Another 15 minutes or so? 20 minutes?
Yeah, 22. We'll cut it. Anyway,
Pass me that later.
fascinating, some of these killers. Absolutely fascinating.
And what about our recent obsession, the man who didn't kill but is in prison?
Stephen Avery. If you haven't checked out Season 2, Making a Murder,
We're gonna get something going with Stevie here pretty soon.
How many episodes is season 2?
10.
It's the same as season 1?
Bobby Dassey did it, Bobby Dassey did it, Bobby Dassey did it, and if you're still wondering, Bobby Dassey did it.
And if you think otherwise, you're fucked.
You should see if you can find, because like what county is that in?
Manitowoc.
You could call the sheriff's, like, they have a phone number. You could call them and be like, hey, Bobby Dassey did it. And then hang up.
Like, they get so many phone calls and emails.
Let's see if I can find that out.
The season starts with how like all the people who prosecute Stephen Avery get hate mail now.
Yeah, like,
and it's like Ken
Ken
Kratz is
Kratz-
like, I hope your daughter gets raped and killed, you piece of shit.
Yeah, like actually,
he gets-
that's an actual email. I hope your daughter gets raped and killed, you piece of shit.
Like, I don't know what
a letter.
what makes people want someone's innocent family members to pay the price.
Well, it's like,
why?
I think
it's more like emotional terrorism. Like they're trying to think of the thing they can say that's going to upset the person.
Them, yeah, right.
I don't think they actually want to. They want the person to be upset.
Oh yeah, no. I don't think nobody online.
Well, for him, they see it as like a direct
He deserves this too.
And like Ken Kratz does, eat shit and die, you fat fuck.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. I would absolutely email him. I'd be right on board. Keyboard warrior.
Like, to me, the other thing about that is, even if Avery did do it, he's still a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
And like deserves all that for everything else that
I'd
he's
say,
done.
would there be a legal repercussion for us finding the number online and phoning them, and then like basically being like, yeah, Bobby Dassey did it.
No,
like,
not at all, because you're not harassing them. As long as like the informational number, not like the emergency number.
Oh yeah, fair. I guess as long as it's not like 911 you're calling.
But they'll have like an emergency, like a non-emergency.
You couldn't do it multiple times. That would be harassment. A single call and if you said,
yeah,
I have some important information
regarding the Stephen Avery case. And then
stay
before they say
tuned.
anything,
Where in one of the
Bobby
episodes
Dassey did
in the Top Podcast Christmas, we call the Manawak County Sheriff's Department, not their emergency line, just like whatever.
Actually, I don't know though. Interesting, Andrew, that you say that, and now I think it's not a case. You can't have information on somebody who's been convicted and serving a sentence.
Well, you can, but it's just not regarding a specific case because the case isn't ongoing.
Like,
well, actually, maybe now it is because Kathleen Zellner.
But I don't know, like, I don't know the recourse here, but if somebody has new information about the Stephen Avery case that could exonerate him, do you present that to the police?
I wouldn't.
I'm just saying in the regular world.
I would to his legal counsel. That's who I would do it to because they would know what to do. They would know the best thing to do with it.
I'm just saying, like, I got killed. Somebody is behind bars, and then you have evidence to exonerate them. Do you go to the police, or are you just trying to find out who might?
Yeah, you could if you actually had evidence.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to go to prison for your death.
No,
that
should be celebrated.
Public service, like why?
They should be celebrated.
Why?
These are amazing.
This man is innocent. He committed no crime. He's caught here on film, and he admitted to it. And we have all this evidence that he directly killed this person. It's
Can
like,
you imagine you do a lie detector test?
It's
and
like,
I did it.
Are you gonna send a man who blows Adolf Hitler's head off to prison? Is that what you're? Are you gonna do that?
So you
Fuck
did
you.
It,
Sure, he did it. But it's like, God, like a great white shark. Are you gonna send someone to prison for shooting a great white shark that's trying to kill him? I don't think so.
Who's to say they weren't defending themselves against Teresa Hallback?
It's true. No one's ever really brought that up with how she does look physically strong.
She's a powerful one.
She might have been a very
she was trying to rape Stephen Avery.
And I don't blame the family, right? I don't blame the family for not wanting to watch the documentary and wanting to just have Stephen and Brendan in fucking jail and have closure. I don't blame them at all.
Who, her family?
Yeah.
Is her family like rah they did it?
Well, they're not even rah they did it. They're like, maybe they did it, maybe they didn't. I don't care. And like when the Brendan Dassey thing kept going to appeal, they were directly in counsel with the state to decide what to do next. Like when they kept appealing, the family was during that whole process. It was like, yes, appeal.
Family members are so bizarre to me because watching that the Staircase, which it's a very very similar to Making a Murder. If you want to watch another series like that, watch the Staircase.
But he absolutely didn't do it.
Yeah, but I mean like in that documentary, the sisters of the one sister especially of the woman who died is just so adamant that he did it, and she knows that she saw it. Well, she absolutely didn't see anything. She has no evidence. She knows nothing that everyone else doesn't know. But she is so adamant that he did it, and it's like, I don't understand how anyone could ever be like that. Like, how do you? Like, why? Yeah,
when emotion completely trumps logic and reason.
That's the thing. Is like, why do you know more than me, even though I know for a fact you don't know any more than me? I hate that. It just like, to me, it lessens the whole thing. Like your sister's death.
Case.
Yeah, your sister's death is now you are lessening the seriousness of it because you are allowing yourself to be compromised with emotions and like you don't care about justice. You care about someone going to prison because your sister died, which it's like
The owl theory.
Shitty.
The owl theory. An owl killed her sister.
Do you believe it?
Well, no, the owl didn't kill her sister. The owl attacked her
to her death.
And then that she like slipped on her own blood or whatever.
Do you agree with that theory?
It's very fascinating.
Well, there were
there's
owl
a lot of
feathers,
evidence.
and there's lots of evidence, and there were owl feathers in her fucking cut.
Mm-hmm.
Well, feathers, they never tested them, but...
Interestingly, when I was trying to finish Making a Murder, I just pressed play on my queue, but it had already reset to episode 1, season 1.
So you just kept watching?
Well, I just started watching it, and I was like, I knew I wasn't watching a continuation of where I was, but it's really interesting just to review the rape thing and how ridiculous it was.
Yeah.
How much they railroaded him that time.
Like, they fucking railroaded him. And that guy was like, I'm saying it like you guys just watched it. You'll probably have forgotten this piece of information. But the sketch artist for Mattawa County, like, obviously drew a fucking picture of Stephen that they had in the office.
Well, it wasn't even the sketch artist. It was just the sheriff at the time.
And then he fucking framed it. And he's like, they're like, why did you frame it? It's like, because this is the only drawing I ever did that went to court.
It's like, it's a proud moment in my career. It's like, he obviously just drew the mugshot.
Stephen Avery. And then they had the mugshot from the day of, and it doesn't look anything like that photo of Stephen Avery.
Speaking of sketch artists, why is it that they always hire the person who's the worst at drawing in the whole state to be the sketch artist?
Oh, like the courtroom artist.
Some of them
courtroom artists I think are really good.
Some sketch artists are brilliant.
Yeah, some probably are, but why is it in all these series I watch? They're
Yeah.
like, look, it looks exactly like, and it's like, that doesn't look like anything. It looks like something a child would draw, and it's like, if you see anyone who looks like this, call the police. It's like,
You'll never find
I'll call them now, because there's someone that looks like that everywhere. Everyone looks like that. It's a head with a nose and fucking eyes. Like, I hate it. Like, in that Unabomber thing, they had the sketch of the Unabomber, and it's like, this looks like everybody. Like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen, in one of those series anyways, artist rendering of it that looks like it would help in any way.
Oh, also the other incredible thing in The Making a Murder, which you and I didn't discuss because it's so late on, like, the coroner quit over the fucking case because they're like, you can't be out there because anything to do with our sheriff's department and Stephen Avery's a conflict of interest because we're fighting this case right now. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, why are you guys all out there then? And they're like, don't fucking worry about it. And they actually, like...
And the coroner is supposed to trump the sheriff on a scene like that.
And she's like, they just kept saying, don't fucking get involved. It's all the sketches of it's like, they have, like, recordings of guys like, don't fucking worry about it. We're trying to fucking frame Stephen Avery, you dumb bastard.
I think the thing that got me the most in the series was the vials of blood with the needle marks in the lid.
That's actually, like, they didn't correct that. That's actually, like, a counterpoint to them. They never, to the documentary makers. All vials have that. It's for when they put the blood in, and that wasn't a thing. Like they made it this big gotcha thing, and they never correct it because like every vial of blood has that.
That's so weird. Like, why would they do that?
Because they wanted to make the documentary look good.
No, I know, but I mean, like, even just think about the vial. Cap it, yeah. Why cap it then? Like, why wouldn't you seal it like that so that
there's a scientific reason. Like it like releases, so like that's how all the vials are.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. I'm interested that Kathleen Zellner never did this DDT test that was so. They made such a big deal of in the first one.
Because that's why. Because the DDT test was based on the puncture mark in the vial, and it's like they're all like. All vials have that puncture mark, you fucking idiot.
Okay, so that's why in the second one they went so much about the sink blood.
Yeah.
Because it obviously wasn't from the vial.
Yes.
So Stephen Avery had a cut on his hand, and when he got home, his sink was cleaned.
He saw taillights behind him, and she thinks it's Bobby that did that.
So he was bleeding in his sink a bunch. And then
Avery was?
Yeah, and then he left.
From the cut on his finger.
Then he left, and then when he got home, the whole bathroom was like sterilized, cleaned.
Is what he claims.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Also, the other thing...
Bobby we never said this, Bobby Dassey's internet searches.
Not searches. Downloaded pictures.
This is also searches.
And searches.
Searches and downloads are like
And we also know that Barb tried to delete a bunch of the information.
She tried to have someone to pay
Who's
someone
Barb?
to delete them. The mother.
Oh.
So she knows more
What?
than she lets.
Yeah, the mother tried to get the hard drive wiped,
Like, not
Like-
Stephen Avery's mother, like
Oh.
Brendan Dassey's mother. Barb.
Oh.
which is also Steven's sister.
Stephen's
Yes.
sister.
Okay. Who kept saying to him, "Why did you make my?"
Also,
son
I
do
didn't
this?"
realize that Barb's husband and Steven's wife got remarried to each other.
Barb's husband and Steven's wife.
Ex-wife.
Yeah, they're both their ex. Like, Steven and Barb are sister and brother.
And then they would have been related by law
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah, and then they both got divorced and then they married.
Huh. So they married their brother-in-law.
Like Martin
Or
Brother.
ex-brother-in-law. Remember Roder did that?
Yeah, he divorced his wife and married her sister.
That's so fucking weird. That's so weird. That's not right.
That would make family gatherings very awkward.
Anyway, I don't think he's allowed to family gatherings. Anyway, there's no way that Stephen Avery did it. And the other thing is, he could have been released like 12 years earlier from the rape charge if he just admitted to doing it. They're like, if you admit to doing it, because in the state of Wisconsin, you cannot be released on probation or parole unless you admit guilt.
Yeah, unless you're guilty of a crime.
Yeah. So, you're found guilty, but unless you admit to the guilt, you can't go on
Because
probation.
you can't show remorse and whatever, like to meet their criteria.
So they were like,
Yeah, exactly.
like-
well, it's like same with like plea bargains and shit. It's like you can't enter a
the
plea
state
bargain
kept going to
unless you admit to a state of guilt.
like
of some
like
kind.
honestly, like 10 years before he fucking got out, they were like, I don't even think it was halfway through the sentence. If you admit guilt, you're out. If you admit guilt today, you're out that door. And he's like, I'm not fucking admitting something I didn't do. I won't. So he
It
spent
would
like
be-
an extra 8 to 10 years in prison.
God, that's so fucked up.
And then he spent more than half his life in prison.
And it's like all you have to do is admit to rape, though. No.
It's like we're spending another 10 years in prison. I'm like, I fucking dunked that bitch like you wouldn't believe.
Then you get into it. You get
You would-
into admitting to the lie.
But at that point, you said you would be already into the gay lifestyle of being in prison.
True.
I know, but you gotta have a change of scenery.
Yeah.
I'm already
Bored.
8 or 9 dedicated years of crawling around on all fours in the shower.
Begging for dick.
Please, anyone.
Raping other people with your anus.
Hey, that's right.
Keep shuffling towards them with your legs up like this. Like
Oh,
Bob Scooty
Crab walking towards them.
Like they don't see you. You're in the corner. It's like square room, door here. You're in the corner here, like same wall as the. And it's like they walk in towards the shower, and they just. And then it's like they look towards. It's like. The moment it's like
Sweeps their legs
it's like-
out from under them. They're on the floor.
It's like It from fucking the new It movie. It's like the moment they see you, then. Man, that'd be a good skit too, actually. The prison rapist. Or, I don't know. It's they tell legends of him. And
I
it's
showed
like,
both
is
of
he
you the-
real? It's like, yeah, you can go to the bathroom and
He's
see him
there, he
right
does
now.
everything.
He's there. He never leaves.
I know Brad's seen it, but Fran, you've seen the Booty Master?
Oh yeah. We talked about the Booty Master for a long time.
In Booty prison, Booty more potent than food, more potent than water. Booty, a man's butt.
I love the Booty Master.
When I want to get with someone, I go up to them and I say, I likes you and I wants you. We can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard way. And no one's ever chosen the hard way. Do you check levels, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, they're the same. Mics haven't moved.
But the battery gone in this one?
I changed it before we started, yeah.
Good. You said you had something about a desert island, something.
Well, I think we'll save that for the next episode.
Yeah. Where are we now?
Yeah, we're at time. So, thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in to another episode. These are my friends. Frick, it's crazy how these so quick these go. Right?
Tune into one of the future episodes where we call the Sheriff's Department in Montauk County.
Oh, we could do a live call.
Oh, absolutely we could. And just put it on speaker. And just literally say, Bobby Dassey did it, and then hang up. Hello, this is whatever Sheriff's
I
Department.
wonder what, like, international
How we not
crime,
see it.
like... They
Yeah,
can't
that's
touch
what
us.
I want to know is if we'd be in trouble in any way. I don't think so. Because like we'd be doubly kind of fucked here. It's like not only would one of our numbers, they'd have one of our numbers, but also we filmed it. But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't see in my head nothing jumps out.
We're not like
illegal.
calling them to be like, you're fucking dead. Like we're not like harassing.
But I
them.
also
And we're
don't
in
think they
Canada.
could do anything. Yeah.
So
but we're also not. We're not like calling them to like insult them or like.
But I don't like. I
threaten
still
them.
don't think they also could not do anything. Like,
even if we did,
extradition is not like easily done.
can you extradite someone to a? Oh yeah, I guess we did commit the crime in. We committed a crime in the United States. Like, let's say we committed a crime in the United States, but we were in Canada.
That's what he did to Mark Emery.
I guess like drug people too. Like,
Well, Mark Emery did nothing illegal in Canada, but the second the seeds shipped to the States, it was illegal.
and they extradited him.
They can't. Yeah.
It's like it would be such a painful process for them to extradite us for calling. Like it would never happen. They would.
Oh no, it would be such a misdemeanor. They would slap us on the wrist.
Also, the States would never even bother trying.
Oh
to
yeah,
do
that's like
extradition.
Monowak County. Like like everybody's so mad. Anyways, we'll catch you on episode 103 or 102.
Or 105. See
Or
you guys.
one of them. See ya.